Okay, so in this video, we're just going to be talking about superpowers and which would be the best or most applicable in real life. And for the context of this video, we're going to be discussing their real life drawbacks as well and the impacts it can have on you. So first, I want to start off with super strength. And I consider super strength to be I'm not going to lie, I consider it to be a C tier superpower. And the reason why is because of its drawbacks. Well, yeah, you could be extremely strong. Are you durable enough to withstand some of your output? Like we can see in real life where in times of extreme distress, human beings get access to a lot of adrenaline and we can achieve great feats. Like there was a story of a woman who lifted a car to save her child, but I think she broke like lots of her teeth and her bones and stuff. So are you strong enough to withstand your own strength? And number two is, do you have the motor skills to use your own strength? So say you have the strength of Superman or Mr. Incredible in this example. Do you have the motor skills used to interact with everyday objects and people without having to negatively affect them? Say you've got super strength and your wife is just a normal person. How are you going to sleep with your wife? You could end up killing her. Or how are you going to hug your kids? You could end up killing them or crush them, you know? How are you going to open doors if you break them all? You know, all that stuff. That's why I consider it C tier. And if you were to have super strength in real life, it would take a lot of training, motor skill training in particular, for it to be positive. But yeah, it would take a lot of training, so there's no point. I think it's C tier. So we have super strength in C tier. Alright, next we have super intelligence, which would be S tier. Because the greatest strength of all human beings in general is our intelligence. Alright, next we have super intelligence, which would be an S tier. And that is because the greatest strength of all human beings is our intelligence. Like, no doubt. Alright. Say, and if we were to use that, it's just the most practical one, to be honest. Like, you could use it to pass exams. You could use it to learn new things, gain new skills. That could help make you more money. There's no downside to it. I can't think of a downside to super intelligence. Maybe you'd have to eat a bit more calories because your brain would operate at a different frequency or something. But then again, smarter people don't in real life don't eat more calories just because they're smarter. They're just, yeah. So absolute S tier. It speaks for itself. Next we have mind control or mind reading. Again, I would say that's A tier. It could be an S tier, but the only reason why I put it in A tier is because of the emotional effect it can have on you. If you knew what people were thinking all the time of you, you end up becoming more jaded. Like sometimes the beauty in interacting with people is the unknown. Like you don't know what could happen. But if you can mind read people all the time or activate it whenever you want, then it becomes social interactions can lose their novelty. And I feel like it could ruin a lot of relationships as well if misused. But then again, that's not the point. But overall, yeah, I'd say A tier because of the emotional strain it could have on the user. Like say you read someone you like's mind and they just think you're an ugly piece of shit. I mean, yeah, it's just gonna hurt you, man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it in S tier. What am I talking about? That is S tier. Because at least you know the truth and you can move accordingly. So mind reading is S tier. Next we have invisibility. Now, that would be great if invisibility could affect your clothes, but chances are it wouldn't. So for it to be useful, you'd have to take your clothes off. And you're not going to be taking your clothes off that many times. So I'm going to put that in D tier, I'm not going to lie. There are very few scenarios where I could see invisibility being useful. Next we have cryomancy, which I would put in A tier. The reason why is I feel you could make a lot of money by like help combat global warming and stuff, and you could create constructs. So like if you could just create shit, like say global warming was like, I don't know if global warming is solved, but It's a big problem, you know, using lots of fossil fuels and shit. If you can like help the ozone layer just create more ice for people, create drinkable water and shit, then that's gonna be fine, you know. So yeah, cryomancy, I'm gonna put it in A tier. It has its combative uses as well. You could just freeze someone. So yeah, but I feel like it's not as good as these two, but it's definitely up there. Next we have shapeshifting. Now again, kind of similar to invisibility. It's mainly useful if you are nude. Well, it depends on the type of shapeshifting. Some shapeshifting, they could just make their clothes look different, but we're going to use a mystique type of shapeshifting where only you can change your physical body and not your clothes. I don't see that many situations where it's going to be that useful, unless if you're like a bodyguard for the president or something, then that would be useful. You can make a lot of money from it. So I'm going to put that in C tier. Actually, no, I'm going to put it in D tier because that's like the only use I could see it for. Maybe I just have a limited imagination, but I can't see it being used for much else. Next we have pyromancy, manipulating fire. I'm gonna put that in B tier. The reason why pyromancy is better because you could create things with ice. It has like that sort of purpose. But with pyromancy, it could only be used for destruction and warming yourself up and shit. Thing is, we have like, if you live in a home, you have heating and shit. So I don't exactly see the point in that. Like it's mainly used for destruction. But if you burn someone in real life, the police will come after you and you'll get arrested. So I don't exactly see the appeal to that. Yeah, so it's mainly just a B tier superpower, I'll be honest with you. Alright, next with invincible, I used invulnerability or super durability. That seems like a good superpower, but if I'm honest, it's actually quite C tier. Because yeah, you can withstand a lot of damage, almost all damage, but at the same time, you're very vulnerable to disease. Like say you need an injection for something, how are they going to inject you with something if your skin is too durable? Do you know what I mean? Like say you need like a vaccine or some shit for something important, how are they going to give the vaccine to you? Like, you know, for injection and stuff. How can you get surgery? For example, say you have an organ failure, say you need a heart transplant, how are you gonna get surgery? Because your skin is too tough, they can't break through the skin barrier and shit. Like physically you're okay, but someone could just use chemical warfare or something. Like internally nothing much will change, you know? Next we have super regeneration, which I want to put as A tier. Yeah, I want to put as A tier. The only thing, no, I want to put as B tier because the only downside with super regeneration, while you can regenerate from anything, the only downside with that is that you would have to eat a lot of calories to maintain it. Like obviously in the comics, you don't really see that much. They could just regenerate from whatever, the food be damned. But as this is real life, in a real life context, you would need a lot of calories. Like say you lost a finger, you'd have to eat a fuck ton of calories just to grow that finger back. Now, if you're an average person, chances are you'll be okay. But you know, it's quite, you know, like dangerous. Not dangerous, sorry. It's like it will cost you a lot of money, you know, and a lot of time having to eat all that stuff. So it'll be crazy, bro. It could be very inconvenient. Next we have mind manipulation, which sounds amazing. You'd think that'd be S tier, but I would put it as C tier. And the reason why it's C tier is because do you really believe that the average person has the intelligence to manipulate matter if they were given matter manipulation? The only time matter manipulation would be effective is if you give it to someone who studied chemistry or some shit. And even then it would still be quite somewhat difficult for them, you know? If you give matter manipulation to a random person, they're just gonna fuck around and just break shit. It'll practically be useless. It'll be like, what's the point in having this power? So you need to be intelligent to effectively use this ability, IRL. And most people are not that smart. So I don't think the average person even knows what a covalent bond is. So how the fuck are they gonna manipulate matter or turn fucking water into wine or some shit, you know? Next we have flight. Flight is A tier. It's not S tier because it depends on the factor. It's like how fast can you fly? Because chances are, if we're using fly, it'll in this context it'll probably be fly at your running pace, or just or slightly faster than that, you know, which is cool. But if you fly too high, you could be depleted of oxygen. You're gonna get cold in the sky. Flying into clouds probably will hurt as well. You know, you're gonna need the clothing for it and stuff. You're also gonna stick out like a sore thumb if you're just like in public, and yeah. But overall, it's a pretty decent ability. It helps you get to high places and stuff. Say if someone's attacking you, say someone's attacking you in real life, you could just fly in the sky and just hover away or some shit. It's good for escaping danger. That's its practicality. But yeah, chances are if you had flight, you'd probably still end up using public transport or something. Next we have telekinesis. Telekinesis is S tier because you could just control things with your mind. It's pretty straightforward. Control anything with your mind. Levitate objects and stuff. Twist them around, crush them, expand them, throw them, you know, pretty useful stuff. If you're smart enough or sneaky enough, you could use it to cheat in like Olympics and stuff with like strongman stuff and shit. It'll be super cool. It has good utility, and it's good for combat as well to protect yourself. Next we have super senses. In terms of super senses, that is a bit difficult because you run the risk of being overstimulated. Okay, now I mean I know I have Daredevil, but since it's super senses in general, you're not going to be blind. So you have super sight, super hearing, super smell, super taste, and you can touch things and you feel touch at a higher degree. You run the risk of overstimulation, so you're really gonna have to get used to it and train it and stuff. And it would also just be super annoying it'd be hard to sleep as well, because you're just gonna hear like you're gonna be sleeping, but you're gonna hear your neighbors like just having sex or some shit. You're gonna probably hear like someone scream. You're gonna hear a child scream. You're gonna hear like cars just run on the road constantly and stuff. Like, I guess it's practical, but stimulation is gonna be a lot. Like, it's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a massive hurdle to get over. So I'm gonna put it as A tier. And finally, we have super speed. Super speed is a great power, but the faster you go, the more dangerous it becomes, because you also need super perception. You know, it depends on what type of super speed you have. For this, I'm going to be generous and give the ability of super perception, so you can perceive things as fast as you run, which would be great. But what is going to protect you from colliding with particles? You know, what's going to protect your organs from the inertia and stuff? Like, it's going to be fucking horrible. But if you're running like at an accelerated speed, say like as fast as a cheetah or even faster than a cheetah, you know, or maybe under, like, yeah, faster than a cheetah or something which is reasonable that your body can handle, it would be amazing. But because of the amount of factors needed, I would put super speed. I would put it as E tier. Yeah. So that's my list so far. Let me know what you think. Aside from that, like and subscribe.